Welcome to From the Pastor's Kitchen, where I get to share with you two of my greatest passions, my love for Christ and cooking. Today I'm doing some butternut squash taco boats. It's our Daniel fast time, and so I won't be eating meat for 21 days. I'm going to share with you some terrific recipes that I'm just going to develop as we go along too, because we are only eating vegetables. Now I got butternut squash, the big ones. I didn't quite cut it in half properly, okay? But it's still gonna be edible and it's gonna work. I have two of them. This one came out much better. I always have a problem when I'm cutting through them. They're so hard to cut through. If somebody's got a way that we can cut through them better, please let me know. Here's my squash. See the inside of it? All the seeds in there must come out. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna clean out all the seeds on the inside of them. Then I'm gonna show you how to season them. I've already set my oven at 350 degrees to start cooking. I'm going to fill them on the inside with this Beyond beef. It's a plant-based ground beef. I've never used this before, so I'm excited about doing it. This is going to be my taco meat on the inside of this boat once I'm finished with it, okay? You'll see it and you're going to like it too. So let's clean out the inside of these first, and then we'll be right back, all right? Okay, P-Fam, I've already cleaned out the squash. See them on the insides? They're uneven now, but that's not the point. The point is that they're cleaned out, all right? Both of them, they're cleaned out. And so I'm gonna season them now. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna season them with. It's really simple. We keep this really, really simple. I want you to know that, all right? Some black pepper, my trusty Magic Chef, some adobo, and the secret to this is that you're going to put in some nutmeg on these. It's gonna be very important. Black pepper. Both of them. Black pepper. I already got the oven heated at 350 degrees. Won't take me long to get this done. But this has to sit in the oven for an hour for these to cook down. This is how you make spaghetti squash too, like this, for those that want to know. All right. You season each one of them up very well. Season this one as well. Now we're gonna come in and I'm gonna put in the nutmeg. Like nutmeg, yeah. Put nutmeg on this. All right, it's gonna enhance the flavor of this. Now the next one. You don't have to do a lot, but it does need it on there. All right. Now I'm gonna move these over to this pan, take them all off of this pan, because I have to spray the bottom of this pan. I don't have to put no foil or anything on it, and turn this face down. And turn this face down on the pan. Okay? I'm gonna come back and season that one. Put these over on this side because they're bigger. Spray the pan. All right. And turn it face down on the pan. Turn it face down on the pan. You smell the nutmeg. So now they're face down on the pan. All right. This one little piece here, I'm going to go ahead and season it, because we can eat that. Don't throw away the food. One little piece there. Yep. Give me a little black pepper. Put it on there. All right, and that is good. Now this is going to go in the oven at 350 degrees. The oven is already set, 350 degrees. All right. And one more to go into the oven. 350 degrees. Now I'm doing a couple of things. I'm also going to go ahead and cook this quinoa in a bag, but I'm going to do a little bit of something different to it. I've also taken some cabbage here, and it's cut off circular so that you can see it. All right, and I'm going to dice it up, and I have some onions here as well, and I'm going to take these onions along with this cabbage and put in this quinoa. I'm going to take these bags right now that I've got some water boiling. It's 3 bags. 3 bags of quinoa here. I'm going to take them and put them down in the water. It's already boiling. It's not at a boil yet. And I'm going to do something a little different to this, okay? In there, I'm going to add some chicken broth. Because quinoa doesn't have any flavor to it, you have to put some flavor into this quinoa. Like, how do I do that? If I buy the bag, I want to show you how to do this, all right? This is how we add some flavor to this quinoa. The water's in this, about 6 cups of water in this to bring this to a boil. Wait till this boils out, all right? Because we want to add some flavor. When you buy it in the store, it already has flavor in it. And then I'm going to take, you see this? Better than bouillon? Yes, Lord. I'm going to show y'all a thing or two. Yes. I'm going to take a teaspoon, put it in my water, add some flavor. Add some flavor to your quinoa. That's all you got to do. Let this boil. Okay? I'm going to let that boil for about 10 minutes. It'll be fine. And then I'm going to show you what I'm about to do with the other that I haven't turned the skillet on. I've got some vegetable oil in it. I'm going to saute the onions and some cabbage. I'm going to mix that cabbage and those onions in with this quinoa, making my own dish. Watch it work. I'm going to make it do what it do, so stand by now. Okay, I'm going to take the cabbage that I showed you. I've diced it up. I'm going to saute it to get it tender. I'm going to take this cabbage and put it in with my quinoa. Alright? Then I've got some onions here as well. Take the onions. Put the onions down in there. Alright? I just want them to sweat and get a little tender, especially the cabbage that's going to go over in the quinoa. I want to change the flavor, but I'm also going to season it. Some adobo, some black pepper, because I want some flavor to be in there with my, quinoa. All right, and for this, I'm going to take some garlic. Just a little bit of garlic and put it in. Okay. That cabbage cooked down. So many good vegetable dishes. I smell that nutmeg. Oh my God. On the squash. It just smells really good when it's cooking. Let this sweat on down. Now, why do I do what I do? Because I love it. When I cook, a lot of times it's like a stress reliever for me, and I love it. I love to just come up with a recipe and make a new recipe, and this would be one of my own. First time doing it, but I tell you, I know that it's going to be good. Because of the flavors, you have to put flavors in the food, which is so important. Let's go back over so you can see the quinoa over here. It's boiling in the bag. But I can smell the chicken broth in there, and that's what's important. Sweating this down. There we go. Just let it cook. And I had put some vegetable oil in the pan already, so that it wouldn't stick to the pan. Not a lot, just a little bit for it. You can see it on here, so that it won't stick at all. Just cooking this cabbage down. And sometimes you may want to taste your cabbage just to see how it is. Okay. Need to cook a little bit more. Really good. I'd cook a little bit more. And I'm going to blend that in with the quinoa once again. All right, we're going to let this cook out for a couple of more minutes. Then once the quinoa is done, I'm gonna blend them together and you get to see that mixture together. At the same time, the squash is cooking now in the oven. It's gonna take an hour for it to cook through. And then I'm gonna come back once I get this these veggies out of this pan, use the same pan and cook my meat sauce. Then I'm gonna put in my squash, which is really this Beyond Beef, this plant-based ground. Okay, no soy, no gluten in it. All right. Okay, I'm about to cook this plant-based meat. This is my first time cooking this. I've had a plant-based burger and it was pretty good, but I do know that you have to season this up. So I also have some chopped up veggies, some peppers that I'm gonna add into this as well. We're gonna go ahead and cook it, and then I'm gonna season it up. There we go. Here we go. Let's see how this turns out. Put some oil in the pan, using the same pan that I used before. It has seasoning in it. That's a good thing to do. Don't go back and clean out your pans. Use the same pan you had before. That's all that I'm doing to it. Okay. Don't let it cook down. Now I'm going to put this on one side, put my veggies on the other side. Get all my vegetables on my pan and saute those on that side. Let them cook. Let this stay on this side while it's cooking. Yeah, looks a little bit better now that it's cooking down. Don't be afraid to try something new and see how it tastes. I know that I eventually want to try to go vegan, so I've got to try some new dishes and see how they turn out. I'm gonna season this up now. There we go. Some adobo, some black pepper. Right. Now for this, the secret is going to put some chili powder in this. Okay. There we go. A chili powder and some cumin. There we go. Change this flavor up here. I'm going to blend them all in together now. There we go. This is going to be the topping that's going to go inside the squash. Okay. There we go. And what I've learned to do when I cook certain meals, not to talk to my family or all of them about what it is first, until they eat it, and then they say, oh wow, that was great, Dad, what did you put in there? And then I can tell them, because sometimes people won't eat it just from not having knowledge about it. Say, oh, I don't want none of that, I won't try it. But this is a way you can have people try the food. All right, you can smell the aroma of that, smell the cumin, love cumin, and smell the chili powder, which helps to make a taco mix for you. You don't have to go out and buy it. All right, let's let this cook some, because I don't know the consistency of this meat, so I'm just gonna let it cook. Take its time and cook. All right, now that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and take my quinoa out in the bags that boiled. They should be ready, and I'm gonna mix them in with the cabbage and the onions. We're gonna let this saute a little bit, and then I'll be back. Okay, P-Fam, I am back. They are out of the oven. This is how they look when they come out. They're baked through and through. You can tell when they are soft to the touch. And so what I'm doing now is that I'm pulling the squash apart from the base of it, and it's spaghetti. This is how you actually make spaghetti squash too, for those that want to know. And see, all the flavor and the seasoning will go through all of this squash that's here. This is how you do it. I'm raking around the sides of it with a fork. You get it? And that's all done. Seasoning is all through there. Coming to the next one. To do it the same way to pull it apart. That's all you do. Now next to it is my my meat sauce that I made, that you saw me make. And I'm gonna put that, it's with taco seasoning with the cumin and the chili powder, makes a taco flavor. Oh my goodness, you don't have to buy those packages anymore. I keep trying to tell you, there's so many great seasonings out there that you can do some wonderful things with. That's 2 boats that are done. I'm gonna do all of them. So whenever somebody wants something, they can just top it. Now, somebody may not want the meat sauce. It's gotta get through this gently because it's just tearing it apart. It's so soft now. I didn't anticipate that breaking right there, but it's okay because it's all edible. All right, there we go. The sides of it, all of that. It's a rather big boat. Here's the other one, the last one. I'm just scraping through it. And if you don't get all the bottom of it, don't go into a panic. You can get it as you're eating it as well, okay? That's all you have to do. Just keep going around and around in it. While I'm going around in here, you can see this now. My word for today is love, because God is love. And even through the crisis of what's happening in the world today, it's most difficult for us too, but we got to ask God to help us to love. To love our enemy. Oh my God, our enemies. Jesus, when there's such a disparity, when things are just so different from one race to another race, we can see that. What happens on jobs when you have a manager that is harassing you, truly harassing you, because there's such a difference in you and that other individual, and you may be a premier worker too. There's such a difference, and so you want to be able to pray for that person. So ask God to help you to love, putting that back in there. All right. All of this is done. I'm going to actually use this one and dress this one up. I would normally put some cheese on it, but because we're not doing all of that during the Daniel fast, I'm not going to put cheese on here. You can put cheese on this and put it back in the oven. Wow. That is one boat right there. That is it. That's it. And if you wanted to, like I said, you can put some cheese on it and put it back in the oven. This is a perfect meal all by itself. But then I'm going to take it and I'm going to enhance it, so stand by. This is my quinoa with cabbage and onions in it, okay? I'm going to plate it all properly and display it for you, and then we're going to close out with the final presentation. Hey P-Fam, I am back as promised with the final presentation. Presentation states everything. This is a yellow squash taco boat. We baked the squash for about an hour, hour and a half. It took about an hour and a half. Seasoned it real well. Took it out, and then we scraped up the spaghetti in there in the taco boat, and then we added the taco meat to it, which really isn't meat. No, it's plant-based. Seasoned it real well, and then there's a bowl of quinoa with cabbage and onions in it. Oh my God. It came out better than I expected. This plant-based meat is awesome. You must try it. The flavor from the taco boat, somewhat sweet, a hint of the nutmeg in it, really makes it wonderful to the taste. I'm going to provide you with the recipe as always. Please try it. We are doing some new dishes during the Daniel fast. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and share it with someone else. Always provide me with your comments. And if you're new to the channel, how about subscribing? Tell a friend, share it with someone else. Like, share, subscribe. We ask that you would do that, and most of all, provide us with your comments.